Supreme Court to deliver judgment in Atiku Obi's appeal against Tinubu on Thursday. I know the Supreme Court started this hearing on Monday, 23rd October 2023, and then they adjourned it, and then they reserved that judgment, and that the judgment is to be completed on Thursday, which is tomorrow. Well, let's see what, nobody is hoping to have anything good out of it, but let's see how the judgment will go. Okay, the Supreme Court of Nigeria will finally deliver judgment in the appeals lodged by the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, and his PDP counterpart, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. Wow. Okay. We know that judgment obviously is not going to go anywhere. It's coming up on Thursday, and by Thursday, all of this will be put to rest. The question there is that obviously the judgment is not going to favor Atiku or Peter Obi, because the APC-led government have connived with the judiciary to do whatever they want to do to retain Tinubu there. Tinubu has spent billions of dollars to make sure that people are, he buys over everything and everybody to keep himself in power. And they are not going to frustrate him, because they have collected everything from him and they have promised him to do the needful. It is time to chop, and they will chop and chop and chop, I tell you. So nothing is going to happen. The only question is what happens after now, because definitely they are going to sustain Tinubu's presidency. So what else will Peter Obi do? What else will PDP do? What else will Labour Party do? What else will Atiku do? That is the question. What else will they do? Atiku has said that after now, he will put the case to rest, because Supreme Court is the apex court in the land and there's nowhere else to go. So that means that after tomorrow, Atiku is going to put an end to this fight. What about Peter Obi? Obviously, Peter Obi will put an end to the fight as well. And then Nigeria will continue to suffer, because obviously the state of the nation is going to be terribly bad. Everyone. Then after then, it means that Nigeria has established, corruption and crime as a way of life. It will be really institutionalized and it will be really established. So the police will have no right to arrest anybody again on crime, except, I tell you, except for small people that will not have any defense. Because if any big person has a defense or is involved, you just pay and you get your justice. That is it. It's unfortunate that we're in this state. So the question is, what happens after the judgment tomorrow? Because they're going to sustain Tinubu as president. Nothing is going to change. There's somebody saying here, tomorrow, final result will teach some people a lot of sense, because it's teach in time saves 9. What sense is going to teach? People are obviously going to go their ways, and then suffering continues. As someone said, the outcome of the judgment of the Supreme Court is clear already, as the apex is bound to dismiss the appeals of PDP and Labour Party for lacking in merit. However, the impending release of Tinubu's 2,500 pages FBI record may leave him with no option than to resign from office, but the ultimate beneficiary of the shenanigans that have tried the last general election is Kashim Shettima, waiting patiently for the sleep. Now look at this illiterate fool living in the past. Can you imagine insulting somebody? What do you mean by FBI? 1 million pages record. Do you think that America can just intrude into one privacy for just frivolous reason? Even if it is released like CSV papers, what is the effect? Nothing. Nothing will come out. Some individuals are bigger than the institution. That is it. The outcome of that judgment is already clear at the Supreme Court. We dismiss both appeal for lacking in merit. But FBI files on Tinubu may likely do or force resignation from can you imagine? They will not resign. There's no need to talk about it. They will not resign. They will not resign. They will not resign. They will not resign. Igbos and Ovidos are the thieves in Nigeria. Can you imagine? That is it. And as he's saying it with impunity that Igbo cannot be president in Nigeria again, never. Can you imagine? So that is to tell you where Nigeria is going. And so the reason is because there is Igbophobia across the country. While the Hausa Fulani were the first to be afraid of Igbos, the Yorubas and other small tribes recently joined the queue. But there are still majority of Nigerians who still believe that this country can only succeed or progress if an Igbo man is given equal power, fairness, and justice. And the earlier the rest of Nigerians realize this singular fact, the better for all of us. Otherwise, we will continue crawling like newborn babies. And that's exactly what is happening. And British has hand in all of this. They have made their Hausas and other Yorubas to believe that if Igbo man rules, they will suffer. And that is the narrative they're going with. Now look at where they're leading us. Nigeria is going the way of Venezuela. And it's going to be very terrible, very, very terrible very soon. Someone said, do you really think or believe that it is a matter of tribe? How far ahead are the states in Alaibo? Or are they governed by Indiobia? Can you imagine? And somebody say, no, please. Why not? Igbos shall, by the grace of God and support of other Nigerians, become a citizen. They are citizens and very interested in our country. So even you and I can rule this country at our destiny time. They will favor a career criminal and all hell will be let loose. Nothing is going to happen. That is it. It's quite unfortunate Nigeria is in the state it is. Somebody saying the Supreme Court are only in a hurry to give their judgment before FBI releases all the criminal records of their employer. This is already to show that the judgment they will give will ignore different facts and be in favor of the employer. But by the time the FBI release all these criminal records, after their judgment, it will be to their shame and that of Nigeria. That is it. It will be to their shame and that of Nigeria. Okay. So that is the state of Nigeria today. Somebody said, when will you learn to be enlightened well enough to understand that the so-called FBI reports are not for judicial processes? We know that. They are only for social media platform discussions. In laws, there's what is known as status limitations and relevance. All this stage, there is nothing any new evidence will do to help the petitioners. Haven't you heard of pre and post matters? Okay, it is too late now, but they won't tell you that. I guess Nigeria is under America. Therefore, mere FBI, a security agency like our FCIB here now, has power over our Supreme Court. So it is the so-called FBI report. You Igbo, can you imagine that what he's saying? Nigeria, God will help us. Thank you for listening and let's have a comment.